Judge who headed Drag Queen Story Hour sponsor arrested on child porn charges.
What? What the fuck?
Because of course he is. I mean, what would we expect anything less out of this world at this point? Judge Brett Blom, 38, was arrested and charged with 7 counts of child pornography possession. Yeah, of course. Why not? You know, I expect more out of my judges. I mean, they are the arbiters of human life in many cases. So I expect them to be held to a higher standard of morality than the rest of us. Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I challenge all things woke. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed and click that notification bell to get updates. And do me a favor, watch to the very end. That helps the algorithm, if you would. Now, I do want to let you know that I am still very busy, and I'm going to be very busy in November. They have not to lighten my workload. As you know, many of you know, I am an instructor at a college, and sometimes I get fewer classes or more classes as it goes, right? Sometimes you get a heavy load, sometimes you get a light load, and I'm continuing with a heavy load through November. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to put out very many videos in the next 6 weeks. I'm going to try to put out a video every Monday and every Friday. I'd like to get out 4 a week, but I just don't have the time, unfortunately. Now let's get into this article, which is just... This is like the pinnacle. Once I think we've reached the top, then we end up going higher. It's always something higher. A Milwaukee judge and former president of the Alphabet organization that sponsored Drag Queen Story Hour events has been arrested on child pornography charges. Judge Brett Blom, 38, was arrested and charged with 7 counts of child pornography possession. He is accused of uploading 27 videos and pictures of child abuse to the messaging app Kik under the name Dom Master BB. I assume the BB stands for his name, Brett Blom, but I don't know. I imagine the Dom Master is Dominatrix Master. Wow. Like I was saying, you know, I expect judges to be held to a higher set of morality, and I think that they should have to pass like some extensive moral examinations before you're allowed to be a judge, instead of just passing the legal requirements and then being voted in. A lot of these judges are voted in, but it's like we don't. Why don't we hold people to a moral standard? And I know we're supposed to have freedom of expression, freedom of religion in this country, where you can say, "Oh, your morality is based on, you know, whatever you personally feel. We have to uphold the law." I get it, but these people are arbitrarily assigning people to prison at this point. That's all I can assume. Each count against Blom carries with it a minimum sentence of 3 years, with the potential of up to 15 years, with a decade of supervised release. With 7 counts charged against him, Blom is looking at a minimum of 21 years in prison should he be convicted. He'll get out in 10. Blom was also a former president for the Cream City Foundation, an alphabet advocacy group in Wisconsin that advertised DQSH. Well, I don't know what that is. Events. And it's sponsored. What is Drag Queen? Okay, Drag Queen Story Hour events it's sponsored, as well as a husband and adoptive father of 2 children. Blom listed his presidency with the Cream Foundation on his LinkedIn profile, of course, because, you know, that's an appropriate name for a bunch of male perverts. Cream City Foundation. Blom's presence on the Cream City Foundation website was quickly scrubbed in the days since his arrest, with his articles removed and the board of directors page nixing the judge's information completely. Yeah, got a cover for him. The judge's 2 children were not involved in the exploitation, according to the court documents, but Child Protective Services is looking to place the children elsewhere amid the charges. In the complaint, Blom was said to have uploaded the photos on a friend's Wi-Fi. The friend noted in the complaint as individual B confirmed to investigators that Blom had visited his house on days that the friend's Wi-Fi showed images uploaded by Dom Master BB. The Wisconsin Supreme Court suspended Blom from his position without pay amid the charges, the Sentinel reported. Blom was elected to his judgeship in 2020. He has yet to give a plea. Yes, we elect judges. I'm not surprised that he's been suspended from his position. Imagine that. He's not allowed to arbitrate people's lives if he's interested in seeing children be turned into objects for his own sick pleasure. Imagine that. In a statement to Fox News, Drag Queen Story Hour executive director Jonathan Hamilt said the Milwaukee branch of the organization was deeply saddened and disappointed to learn about the actions of Judge Blum. Really? Yeah, that's not true. That's a PR thing, because that's what they all want. They want to be able to exploit children for their own sick pleasure. Otherwise, why would you have this weird fetish where you have to dress up and be inappropriate around children? You think, oh no, it's just a form of dress up. It's just a form of expression. No, it's not. It's a form of sexual expression. Children should not know anything about that. Hamill clarified that the Cream City Foundation was strictly a fiscal sponsor. Okay, that was poorly written. The DQSH Milwaukee that allowed it to operate as a nonprofit, and that Blum was never directly involved with event planning nor held a position within DQSH. However, Drag Queen Story Hour wishes to make clear, while Cream City Foundation was served as DQSH Milwaukee's fiscal sponsor, allowing DQSH Milwaukee to receive funds as a nonprofit, the relationship is strictly financial. Cream City Foundation does not direct or influence the content of our programming, and Brett Blum has never held a position with DQSH Milwaukee nor participate directly in planning organizations or hosting any of our events, said Hamilt. Yeah, I mean, it's not that he wants to make these decisions. You're already making bad enough choices already as it is. He doesn't need to put his rubber stamp on those choices. You're already doing that for him. You've already perfected the craft. All he needs to do is give you money so that you continue to do what it is that he likes you doing. Not very difficult to figure this out. The DQSH executive director said that the Milwaukee organization has never been run by either the Cream City Foundation or Blum, and reiterated that neither the judge or the Ice Cream City Foundation was involved in any DQSH events. They don't need to be. They're just giving you money so that you continue to do what you're already doing. DQSH Milwaukee has never been run by the Cream City. Jesus, okay, they keep repeating this. Hamill also told Fox News that the Milwaukee DQSH is cutting all ties with Cream City Foundation as their acting fiscal sponsor, and gave a strong condemnation of Blum's actions. You say that in public, but I wonder what goes on in private. It's bad enough what you do in public for everybody to see that you're objectifying children in this way, or at least teaching children that they should objectify people in this way. When I was a kid, we knew about this. We knew what trans people were, at least to some degree. We knew they're like cross-dressers, and we thought it was funny. We thought it was silly, and we thought it was goofy, and we didn't know why people would want to do that. But here we are now, and they're taking it to the extreme of having their bodies altered. And sometimes they're not even taking it to the full extreme of having their bodies altered. They're just playing an extreme form of dress up. I don't get it. I do not get it. And they want children to know about this. As the leaders of DQSH Milwaukee and DQSH HQ, we absolutely condemn pedophilia. We are angry and outraged that Brett's actions, said Hamilt. Pedophilia has no place in the alphabet people community and no place in society as a whole. Now, again, they're just saying this. This is not their true stance on this situation. This is their public relations stance, because look what they're going to do. They're going to say this. Oh, we don't want any of this. We don't want any of this. We're going to keep doing what we do, but we don't want any of this. And then they're going to slowly chip away at not wanting pedophilia to happen, and then we're going to be passing laws. They're going to be asking us to pass laws that allow for pedophilia. It's going to be crazy. See, as we can see here, legalizing S child abuse, pedophilia now classified as an S orientation. You see? They're chipping away at the foundation of society. This is something that is going to, bring society down with it, because what do we do with our children? We don't allow them to work unless they work for their family. So they hold no responsibility. Yet there's a push to allow children into adult relationships, which on the unfortunate occasions when this does happen, it has really damaged some people and led to very poor outcomes in their lives. DQSH is an organization dedicated to creating safe, inclusive spaces for children and their families. He continued, all of our in-network drag storytellers are required to have background checks. Oh, yeah. That shows if they've been caught doing anything. Doesn't show if they've actually done anything. This Cream City Foundation did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for a comment. Of course, they didn't, because they wouldn't want to be associated with Fox News. The founder of DQSH, writer Michelle T, said the aim of the program was to give kids glamorous, positive, and unabashed queer role models. That's what they need. That's exactly what children need. Critics in conservative towns have protested the practice, saying the story hour teaches kids about S concepts that they cannot grasp yet. Yeah, it does. It teaches them about not just what boys and girls are, but the birds and the bees. They don't need to know that. Okay, so there's a time and a place, right? Obviously, adults can decide whether or not they want to engage in any sort of a drag show. That's their choice. I'm not going to stop them if they want to do that. I'm not going to stop people from putting on drag shows for adults if they want to. I did not know about this stuff. I knew what sex was. I knew what it was for, but I had a lot of misconceptions about it until I was 12. When I was 12, I had sex education. That's an appropriate age. Most of the students in my class were 11. I think it's a little bit young, but it's better than 6, 7, 5. That's way too young. And 12, 13 I think is a good age. 7th grade, that's probably a good time to start understanding what's happening with your body. But yay, who are we electing to be judges? What else is going on behind the scenes? And I got to do a review of this movie, this documentary. I'm just going to basically do a summary of it. It was the film Divorce Corp. Wow. They tell you in no uncertain terms what family court is and how it's bad. The family courts are, of course, arbitrated by these judges. They're ruining people's lives just because they can, just because it is a business transaction for them. What? It's a business I'm not joking. It's a business transaction for them. And you got people in the criminal justice system. I don't know what kind of cases Judge Blum presided over, but I mean, if he's doing anything in criminal justice, especially, oh man, he could be sentencing people to death. He could be sentencing people to life in prison. Even I imagine, even a few years in prison changes a person. I imagine that it's like, even after 5 years, you've significantly changed. I mean, I've significantly changed in 5 years not being in prison. I can only imagine what a prison would do to me. I don't think you would change too much after maybe 1 or 2 years, but that's still something that can change you. I wouldn't imagine it's a lot, but depending on what you go through. I mean, maybe if you're young and you go through a lot of crap when you're there, it would definitely have an impact on your life. So yeah, stay out of prison. Your society's on the brink when you got judges engaging in this sort of thing. And what we really need to do is figure out a way to get a handle on morality in general while allowing people to be free. I mean, we do make laws, and those are reflections of morality, but yeah, I don't know. This is just, it's out of hand. Why would you ever think of a child that way? I don't, it's just not something that I think about when I look at a kid. So anyway, that's all I got for this time. I'm sorry, this is a rough one for me. Again, drop a like on the video. It only takes a second, and I'll see you in the next one.